and welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show in which there's no right way to be a man. And I come to you live from my Corona bunker on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first of the new time slot Thursdays for TED Excellence. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a busy day for me, work-wise and otherwise, but and in the news, well, let's not talk about the news. Let's take our minds off of the news for a little while, shall we? Let's lose ourselves in what will probably be some inane stupidity. Or something very informative. I can never be sure. But my luck being what it is, I can probably guess. Hope you're all doing well, as I've already said. But who's joining me tonight on this inaugural new time slot for TED Excellence? First and foremost, long before the stream started, Point Curation put a donation up, and I don't have it in front of me because YouTube has since deleted it in the time that's spent since. But I want to thank him so much for the donation. I believe it had something to do with his art pieces, but I don't know. So Point Curation, thank you so much. But elsewise, Random American, hello. Chicago Mike, hello. Jaeger Pony, hello. Tall Person, hello. Mike R, hello. Sean Uli, hello. Matt Barnes, hello. Zeke Weiss, hello. Swirl Blue, hello. And then chat jumped because, of course, it did. I thought for a second I'd get past it, but no. Attack Alpaca, hello. Jamie Melquist, hello. Cynic, hello. Jam Salty, hello. Resolute Germ, hello. Lurking Gopher, hello. It's a Llama, hello. Zero the Hero 909, hello. GC Wade Waleson, hello. Non-Vitae Rex, hello. Tall Person, thank you so much. Let me put that up real quick because I can do that now. If it'll let me. There we go. Hoy all. Happy Thoughtful Thursday. Thoughtful Thursday. Well, I guess you'll all have to decide for yourselves after we're done here whether I was thoughtful for bringing this to you or not. Useless Cook, hello. Spud Gun, hello. Leo Prime 75, hello. Funtime Bats, hello. Seftus Wolf, hello. Oh boy, so many people. So many people. Adabisi, hello. Gulf City Peterbilt, hello. Lil Mo Sislak, hello. Killer Turnus, hello. Robert Pincus, hello. Check Your Logic, hello. Dagger 3K, hello. Jonathan Peterson, hello. Ryan R, hello. Gunfox 61, hello. Okay, if I missed you, I apologize, but we have to get into this because I'm excited. I'm excited, guys, because hopefully we're going to learn something tonight. Oh, sorry. I said guys. I mean fellow hominids. Got to keep things PC here. So tonight we're going to find out, apparently, there's no wrong way to be a woman. Consequently, I have to believe then that there's no wrong way to be a man. But somehow I doubt that's going to be the message. So as usual, I will start off with a few seconds for sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear it. This one clocks in at just over 10 minutes. Thank you, Kiverdam. You missed me. Well, only because my aim was off. Kiverdam, hello! And thank you so much. All right, everyone. Here we go into the wild blue yonder of late night TED Excellence. Let me know if you can hear it, and we will proceed.
Isn't it creepy that...
Isn't it creepy? Isn't it romantic? Or is it creepy? Emperor W.R. Costin, hello. Decode, hello. Roger Reynolds, hello. Shio Gorath, hello. Green Death, hello. Oh my gosh. Blake Hanley, hello. I heard her, says Jamie. Sounds fine, says Mike R. Random American, a tad loud, but good. Well, okay. I did boost the audio a little bit. If it's ridiculously loud for people on normal settings, let me know, and I'll turn it down a smidge, but you may have to handle your own volumes at home. Okay, isn't it creepy?
The moment you're born, strangers will look at your genitalia and immediately start drawing conclusions about you?
Oh, this is going to be fun. Drawing conclusions. There's nothing being drawn there. It's basically self-evident, certain things. Now, I mean, do you mean about you in the biological sense? Because, okay. Or are you talking about you as a person? Because while it might sound mean to say, babies aren't really people yet, if you catch my drift. I know there's a lot of ways they could be mistaken for something terrible, but you know what I mean? They don't have a personality. They don't have any likes or dislikes yet, aside from breathing and wanting to be cuddled by mama. You know, it's... Anyway. Thank you, Mike R. What bingo card are we using? Oh, God. That's right. I knew I forgot something. Well, the bingo poll on Twitter was a tie between A and B, so I decided to go with A. So tonight's bingo card is A. You can find the links to the bingo cards in the description. Boy, oh boy, my inaugural night in a new time slot, and I'm already forgetting my format. This reflects poorly on me, and I apologize. So get your bingo cards ready. Bingo card A. She hasn't mentioned anything about herself yet, so let's proceed.
The colors you will like?
The colors? Oh, the... yes, the pink and the blue. That's why the toy aisles are always divided between pink and blue, because boys and girls aren't, you know, anyway.
The clothes you will wear?
Yeah, you got pink hair, by the way. Are you giving in to gender stereotypes?
The gender you will identify with?
I seriously doubt the doctor looking at a newborn baby is bothering to think of anything other than, is the baby healthy, go through the procedures, make sure mom's okay, and so on. But you do you.
Yay, it's a girl. I wasn't never asked, but thank you, stranger.
I'm afraid you cannot escape your biological reality. You know, I mean, life may take you down different directions one way or the other. You may feel a different way about yourself as you grow and so on and so forth. But at the moment of birth, it is not a sin for someone to look upon you and know by looking at you what your biological sex is. And if you're going to be offended this far into the future from that, that's a you problem.
So, yeah, I am a girl, but this shouldn't have been assumed.
It wasn't assumed. You see, that's where everything kind of diverges here. It's not an assumption if you're a girl, or an assumption if you're a boy. It is manifestly evident. Now, in those rare instances where there is some, you know, ambiguity, that is what is called a birth defect. And saying it is a birth defect is not a judgment of the value of the person. It's just a biological term. It's not an assumption. It's a fact.
Many bodies do not fit the typical definitions of male or female.
That is a rarity. That is why it is called a birth defect if there is some question or ambiguity or some kind of internal, you know, combination of genitalia. Yeah, they people like that exist. It's true. I'm not denying their existence, but they do not make up the majority.
And some people do not identify with the gender they were assigned with at birth.
You are not assigned a gender at birth. Your gender is observed. And a baby has no ability to identify with anything. You need to grow up first, like get into legal age territory before you start making major decisions about your bodily chemistry. At least that's my opinion.
The first person to say whether it's a girl should not be a doctor, but just the girl herself.
No. I'm sorry. I don't think you're going to convince parents around the world to just not acknowledge their child's reality for however many years it takes for them to become self-aware enough to make that assessment for themselves. So you're already... We're not even a minute into this. Holy cats.
Within the first seconds we're on this earth, it's already other people who decide the right ways about being a girl.
No, it's not.
Or the wrong ways of being a girl.
No, it's not.
So within the first years, year by year, girls are being told more rules.
Generally speaking, and it depends on the family and the household, obviously, children writ large are given rules about behavior and, don't drink the bleach and don't put your fingers in the light socket and don't go outside alone and look both ways before crossing the street. It's not girls. You think boys are not given any rules to abide by? I bet she does.
They might not look like rules at first.
Oh.
As long as you match the expectations.
Oh.
Pastel pink? It's not a rule.
It's not a rule, but it's one you adhere to. Well, I guess maybe that's not pastel pink. It's more like, I don't know, plum Kool-Aid purple.
Just a cute look. But don't you dare reject that color.
Well, you certainly haven't. And also you're wearing a kitty cat shirt. Why aren't you wearing, like, I don't know, a pit bull shirt or a monster truck rally shirt or something? Why are you adhering to such oppressive gender stereotypes? You don't have to. Is society making you? Why are you giving in to society?
Skirts and dresses? It's not a rule. It's just pretty.
Yeah.
But only one gender can be pretty.
Are you kidding me?
And soon enough, people will judge the length of your skirt because your looks is their business. Literally.
Yeah. Well, again, you can choose whether or not to take part. No one is. Hey, guess what? You're on that stage. And what are you wearing? You're wearing pants. No one made you wear a skirt. No one's chastising you for wearing a skirt, or not wearing a skirt, I should say. You're up there on the stage, and you're being victimized how? Thank you, Officer Buck. Hello, Officer Buck. Welcome to the new time slot. Hope you enjoy yourself. I'm going to go to the bingo card real quick, because I don't know if he's actually said anything yet, but I want to check. Collectivize his own demographic. Yeah, she is, and I suspect she will be more so as we go on. So therefore, collectivize his own demographic and circling free space. Systemic institutional. She hasn't said the words yet, but she's leaning into it with the whole society and gender stereotypes. Sales pitch for product or service, not yet. Childhood or family anecdote. She hasn't spoken of herself yet. So, and it has been an anecdote. Diversity, equity, inclusion, no. Plays victim. I'm going to sit on that for a bit. Microaggressions, unconscious bias, not yet. Privilege, not yet. Contradicts own point or argument, don't know what it is yet. Patriarchy, I'd be amazed if we don't get there. Weightless example, not yet. Wage gap, not yet. Feminism, I'd be amazed if we don't get there. Marginalization, well, hinted at it so far, but I'll wait. A list, not yet. White supremacy, no. Word salad, we'll get there, I'm sure. Self-vilification or wretchedness, I'd be amazed. Make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason, not yet. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase, not yet. Mind reading assumes motives, I have a feeling. Benevolent condescension, I also have a feeling. Anecdote that probably never happened, not yet. And leaves out vital context, not yet. All right.
So,
a needle pulling thread.
Prettiness becomes kind of your duty, but it's not only looks. Don't you dare leave the girls section at the toy store.
What? Okay, and also, are you or are you not wearing makeup? Why would you bother putting on makeup? I mean, I seem to see some eyeshadow there, and, you know, I could be mistaken. Maybe you're just naturally look that way. But if prettiness should not be a priority or an obligation on the behalf of women, why are you participating in it? Why are you trying to make yourself look attractive? Is it more for you than perhaps it is for society to make yourself feel good? Should someone be excoriated for wanting to feel good about themselves? I don't know.
And girls need and boys need to stay in their lane too.
Oh, do they? Really? These days? Are you sure?
We're taught at a very young age that not only do toys have a gender, but also leaving your gender section is not allowed.
First off, that's nonsense. And second off, if you look at some studies, and I believe it was in Sweden, I want to say, but anyway, they did studies with babies, like babies that had not been socialized yet, right? And they put certain objects in front of male and female babies. And they found, if you can believe it, the male babies found themselves more attracted to mechanical things. And female babies found themselves more attracted to soft and cuddly things when given the choice. They hadn't been socialized. They hadn't been given any rules yet. They were just basically into the world about a minute ago. So there seems to be some, I don't know, some natural genetic inclinations between the sexes. Now, does this mean that it'll always be the case or that you're required to fall into those lanes? No, but there is a little bit of nature pushing along whatever there is of nurture.
The closer you get to the concept of woman, the more obvious it becomes how much you can do wrong at just being one.
Have you ever tried being a boy amongst a bunch of other boys? You know, I'd feel this talk would have more credibility if you talked about children in general and not just specializing in women or girls, because these are human experiences. They aren't divvied up by gender. Thank you, Matt Barnes. This is Strange and Foreign Scribbles. Where are Satsu and Monkey? Yes, imbibing sadly facetious. Oh, I'm being sadly facetious. I assume Satsu is with Squishy and Squeetus, and Monkey is probably getting ready to do another live stream in the wee hours of the morning. If he's not already. He could be streaming right now for all I know. Because of all things, Monkey does not respect other people's time slots. I know this from experience. So thank you, Matt Barnes.
I mean, at some point you can at least earn the money to buy your own toys, but that's as fun as it gets. And they're expensive.
Okay.
Who would have thought there are just so many ways of just having a body? Don't you ever dare to be fat. The whole health sector will basically dismiss your problems and blame them on your body's shape.
I don't know if you've been paying attention the last several years, but the phrase healthy at any size has been a very, very popular one. Body positivity has been a very popular one of late. Now, while I don't personally agree with encouraging people to have what is demonstrably unhealthy bodies, society, or at least pop culture, has been very forgiving lately. Or have you not been paying attention?
The world fears women who take up space.
Is that a fat joke?
Working out is mandatory, but there's a fine line between being a #fit girl and looking too strong.
Why aren't you fat? Why aren't you buff? Why do you have such bad posture? Why are you you? If all of these are mandatory, if these are the rules for how women are supposed to act, how are you standing on that stage being you, not wearing a dress? I'm confused.
The world also fears strong women, not only the ones making strong decisions, but also the ones who prefer to look strong. Those lesbians.
Wait, choose to look strong? I thought women didn't have a choice in those lesbians? Females can only be strong if they're lesbians? Did I hear that correctly? Let me back up a little bit.
Decisions, but also the ones who prefer to look strong. Those lesbians.
Okay, I don't know if she'll expand on that, but no pun intended. But I don't want to guess what she's talking about by look strong, those lesbians. I could make a guess, but I don't want to put words in her mouth.
Oh, yeah. Lesbianism. It's a very specific wrong way of being a woman.
Are you out of your mind? Two girls getting it on? Have you seen the statistics on Pornhub?
It's my favorite. As women, we're not exactly encouraged to like each other in general, but liking women is even worse.
Have you ever seen girls in high school catfighting each other, judging each other? You ever see that movie Mean Girls? While that's over the top, do you think that that somehow is not reflective of a certain level of reality? And they don't need any coaxing to be judgmental of other girls. No different than boys are judgmental of other boys. These are human experiences. Girls are made to dislike each other. Oh yes, gosh, they're just beholden to the forces they have no control over.
If you're a woman experiencing attraction and it just feels right, you can be sure that there's a rule about it somewhere condemning it as wrong.
Depending on what kind of household you grew up in or what kind of religion rules the local area or something, yes, it's entirely possible that same gender attraction will be frowned upon, derided, vilified, and so on. That is true. That is true, depending on where you're at. Now, truth be told, things have changed drastically in the last 20 years to where it is not nearly as unacceptable as it used to be. But again, depending on your family, depending on where you live, your mileage may vary.
A question I often get is, but if it's two women in a relationship, who of them is supposed to be the man?
Well, if it's two men in a relationship, which one of them is supposed to be the woman? Is there anything you're going to bring up that can't easily be transferred over to the idea of boys growing up or men being together? Do you really think that all of this is unique to the female experience?
I don't know. The one earning 20% more, I guess.
Oh, wage gap. I'm going to take that as wage gap. Okay, go into the bingo card, wage gap. Let's see, checking out real quick here. Yeah, she's gone all over the place, but she hasn't really fallen upon many of the squares yet, at least as far as I can tell. We'll see.
So if a woman is not in a romantic relationship with a guy, who is she supposed to marry?
She doesn't have to marry anybody she doesn't want to, unless she's being forced into it, which does happen in some instances. But in a perfect world and in general, if we're now, I don't know where this takes place. By her accent, I can't tell where we are, but I'm just going to go off the American experience. In America, you are not required to marry anyone. You can die a single person if you choose, or if fate thus chooses it for you. So I don't know. Now, again, if she's referencing some other country where things are different and her accent is indicative of that, then maybe she's referencing something I'm not, privy to at present. Thank you, John Migda. Can't defend women. You can't defend women? Why not? I defend women with my shield and sword. Except that chivalry is dead, as I've had proven to me over and over and over again.
As of today, Switzerland still hasn't legalized gay marriage.
Oh, are we in Switzerland? Okay, all right. Well, maybe that explains things then. Okay, because I don't know the dynamics of Swiss culture. So if she's in Switzerland, if this is coming live from Switzerland, then yeah, maybe I'm completely off base from what she's referencing. Okay, so I'll make that concession. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Smug idiot has no gender, apparently. Yeah, well, there's that too. But yeah, so if there's something special going on in Switzerland and Switzerland hasn't legalized gay marriage, well, I'll tell you what, America in that regard is far more progressive than Switzerland. Although I would assume that Switzerland would be neutral on the subject.
My personal reason why I want to marry my girlfriend is just so I can call her my wife, because as long as I call her my girlfriend, people will just assume we're just friends.
Why do you care what other people assume about you? I mean, here's the first step towards throwing off the shackles of the pressure and suppression of society. Save for staying within the boundaries of the law, don't worry about what other people think. And I have a sneaking suspicion you've already learned that lesson because you're wearing that shirt.
Yeah. The power of friendship. Having that friendship bond, sharing a friendship bed, making out in a very friendly way.
Again, you seem very concerned about external assessments of you. Maybe you need to find some self-confidence and self-assurance first before you start blaming everybody else for your feelings.
Seriously, though, while many men in Western culture can't even hug without being called homophobic slurs.
I guess it would depend on the context and who you're talking about, but men hug each other all the time without being assumed to be gay. But even if they were assumed to be gay, who cares?
The sexual orientation of women loving women is not taken seriously.
Wait, why are you just highlighted in your own version of things how men can't hug each other without being called gay slurs? But then we go back to women as though they're more victimized by the exact same mechanic. I'm getting ready to circle feminism just on reflex.
It's like our perception of attraction revolves around being attracted to men. We even grow up with the notion that it's not real sex as long as there isn't a man involved.
I don't know about that, but I mean, you know, the majority of people on the planet are, I hate to tell you this, heterosexual. You know, it's becoming more acceptable to experiment and to pair up with someone of your same gender, if that's the way you feel. But all the same, we all wouldn't be here unless the majority of inclination was heterosexual. So,
Believe me, it is.
oh, okay.
So, not only are we supposed to be in a relationship with a man.
Nobody's forcing you to be in a relationship with a man. I seriously doubt even in Switzerland they are forcing you to be in a relationship with a man. The fact that you have a girlfriend, and though it is a shame that you cannot get married to your girlfriend, unless you're being chased in the streets when we're not looking, I don't think anybody is holding it against you to have a girlfriend or forcing you to have a boyfriend.
And only one.
Uh-huh.
And get married, because that's what people have been doing for the past 1400 years. So
who is making you get married to a man? I know that there are cultures out there and there are societies out there that do forced marriages and arranged marriages. So I'm not saying that that doesn't happen or something. But in Switzerland, who is forcing you to marry a man? Who is forcing you to be in a relationship with a man? Who? Please tell me. Seriously, if Switzerland is forcing you to do this, I'll be right there. Well, not literally, because I can't fly anywhere because of the pandemic, but, you know, sentimentally speaking, I'll be right there with you and saying, that's unfair, that's unjust, that should be changed. Is that what you're saying? Or are you just sort of like talking about society, the grand boogeyman that's making you feel bad about yourself? I'm gonna back up a little bit.
With a man, and only one. And get married, because that's what people have been doing for the past 1400 years. So it must be right. But also...
Why are you being so condescending? two heterosexual people. But wait a second, going to the card real quick. Mike R makes a good point. Plays victim. Yes, at this point, even in the smallest of aggregate, she is playing the victim. Benevolent condescension. Yeah, sounding all smug and saying that somehow it's like, okay, you're not heterosexual, right? But you still want to get married to your girlfriend, right? You just said you wanted to, so you didn't have to call her girlfriend anymore. And yet you disparage the notion of marriage. No, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. So which is it? Do you want to conform to society's institutions or do you not? Are you wearing makeup to look pretty or aren't you? Do you like looking attractive to your partner or don't you? Did you choose to wear that shirt or did your girlfriend make you wear it? I don't know.
We're expected to have a certain kind of family. Not any kind of family with people you love, but specifically the kind of family where you as the woman have babies.
No one is requiring you to have babies. I seriously doubt, even in Switzerland, anyone is requiring you to have babies or to have a particular makeup of family. Thank you again, John Migda. Go to Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see a society that has very, very strict regimens for how women are to behave, you're in the wrong place if you're in Switzerland. If that's where this is coming from, you're in decidedly the wrong place.
The older I get, the more and more people ask me why I don't have kids. And it's just such a strange question to ask women.
Oh, gosh, and I've never been asked if I have kids or plan on having any. Because no one asks that of a man, ever. Give me a break, lady. Come on. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Happy Women's Equality Day. Oh, probably shouldn't talk while I'm checking my work email and setting up new filters for PC stuff right to trash. Wait, you're working? You have a job? You're supposed to be home in a dress, baking cookies, pumping out children or something. Don't you know? Aren't you listening to our speaker tell us how reality works in the 21st century? Work. Working on computers, technically inclined. Come on. Don't listen to our speaker. You're just pulling my leg.
Do you also ask me about other decisions I don't make?
Yeah, no one ever asks such things of men. They just don't happen. Are you going to get married someday? You ever thought about having kids? Are you dating anybody right now? What kind of job do you have? Are you going to go back to school? These things never occur to men. It just never happens. No one ever asks men anything about their plans, about their desires for family or relationships. It just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. So on that basis, I'm going to circle anecdote that probably never happened because she's talking in broad, abstract terms, but she has repeatedly brought up these scenarios that are just absolutely ridiculous. So anecdote that probably never happened. Only women are asked these things. Horse hockey.
Why aren't you running a vegan bakery?
Why aren't you running a vegan bakery? You look the type. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Women in STEM. Be child-free. No, it's not STEM anymore. It's STEAM. They added the A for arts. So it doesn't all have to be technical. Don't you know? And thank you again, John Migda. Let's meet Cap. What? Okay. Now, I don't know who you're talking about. This is a family show. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't even know what that means. You. John Migda. What's wrong with you? Are you a man? That might explain it.
Why aren't you the bass player of a pop punk band?
Why aren't you the bass player of a pop punk band? I mean, you look the part.
Sounds lovely, but no thanks.
Oh my God, what do you mean no thanks? You mean you have choices? You've made decisions for yourself? You have preferences that you either do or do not indulge in? What is this madness? You're a woman. There are things that you're allowed to do and things you're not allowed to do. Choices? Agency? What are you talking about? You just spent the last 6 minutes telling us you don't have these things. Unless you're making all this up.
Ask me about my plans.
Do you plan to have kids? Oh, sometimes I make myself laugh.
Not my non-plans. We usually don't do that. We just do it to women who don't have kids.
You are absolutely out of your mind if you think that's true. Absolutely out of your mind.
All in all, being a woman is society telling you, just be yourself, but not like that.
Can I circle plays victim more than once? I don't think I can. Okay.
We're either not feminine enough or too girly.
This all sounds, I don't mean to keep pausing as repeatedly as I am in this instance, but this is one of those TEDx's where it feels like I'm more listening to someone's inner monologue about themselves than I am listening to a presentation that actually has any substantive irate bear content, Maybe that's just me.
We're either not feminine enough or too girly. We're either prudes or sluts, either basic bitches or not like other girls.
You're either a wuss or you're a jock. You're either a weenie or you're a, muscle-bound freak or something. Yeah. There are no extreme ends on either side for the other gender. That never happens. Boys don't have any stress in life growing up and trying to figure out who they are or feeling a sense of competition. No, that never happens. There's not judgment thrown around to boys between boys. Golly gee whiz, what do you mean? I didn't struggle throughout school feeling inadequate and small and weak and shy. I didn't get beat up before, because boys don't beat each other up. We're all on equal footing all the time. That's how it is. Yeah, equal respect between men all the time. Yeah, that's how people work. That's how society works. Yeah. Thank you, Zero the Hero 909. In the concept of pop punk, Hayley Williams of Paramore is a singer, not a bass player. This speaker can get lost. Well, could she be a bass player if she wanted to be? I don't know. In our speaker's world, probably not.
How many times have I been complimented with, "You're not like other girls"?
I don't know. How many times have you been complimented for being unique? Oh my God. How did you survive such a calamity? Oh, somebody thinks that I'm special. How dare they? Holy cats. And not just the ones on her shirt. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. This presentation would make more sense if she was giving it to her cat alone while downing several bottles of cheap red wine. Maybe that was her rehearsal regimen. I can't tell you.
Dude!
Are you talking to men?
I want to be like other girls.
No, you don't. You just told us you want to be unique. You don't want to be set into some kind of lane or slot. You want to be out of bounds, do whatever you want. You don't want to be like other girls. What? Okay, contradicts own point or argument. Circling that one right now. Lord. Let's hear that again.
Times have I been complimented with, "You're not like other girls."
Uh-huh.
Dude!
Dude!
I want to be like other girls. Girls are amazing. If someone tells you you're not like other girls in a complimentary way, what is it they're really saying?
They're saying that they find you special and unique and interesting. Now, the sincerity of that comment, well, your mileage may vary depending on what kind of guy and or girl you're talking to and what their intentions are. But all the same, the sentiment is you are special. You are unique. They have not met someone like you before. It is a compliment of a kind. Are you now coming from someone who is classically unable to fully accept a compliment? I can empathize a little bit, but I also don't indict someone for giving me the compliment. The shame is actually internal, but I have a feeling that you have a bad habit of turning outward your self notions onto other people and projecting quite a bit.
That other girls are dumb and you're the exception?
Is that how you see it? That you're super smart? Did they say you were smart? Is okay. So you think that you're smart. Well, all right. I mean, it's not necessarily a point of arrogance, but the way that you're putting it out here, it sure sounds like it.
That's a competition we never subscribe to.
What?
I want girls to be as diverse as galaxies and still be like other girls.
You want girls to diverse, but you don't want there to be competition? Are we living on the same plane of existence? I mean, admittedly, I don't live in Switzerland. I don't know what the status quo for feminine or femininity, I should say, is in Switzerland. But there are a lot of women on this planet. In fact, more women than men statistically. And a lot of them vary in many ways. They are already diverse. You are the only you. Although I have seen others that look like you, you are you. What are you? Oh my God.
Girls who are questioning what's considered feminine.
Yeah, because no women have ever done that. Sexual revolution much?
And girls who are super feminine and still smashing those sexist rules.
What? How can they be feminine and smash sexist rules? You just told us that wearing dresses and being pretty is somehow verboten or not challenging the rules. Are you unhappy in your relationship? Is that what this is? Or are you like uncertain about your own? Now, you know what? I'm not a psychologist, though I do own a couch. But I won't delve any further there.
The traditional way to be a woman should be one option among many.
It is. In most Western cultures, it is. Thank you again, John Migda, send her to Afghanistan. Now that would be based. Yeah, I mean, there's just as a side note, that just reminded me, there's this documentary by Errol Morris from many years ago now, but it's called Mr. Death. And it follows around the guy that I believe, at least purportedly, invented the lethal injection machine and what that did to his reputation and his life and everything. Anyway, within that documentary, there's this point where he talks about at one time having traveled to Poland. And he says, I think every American should visit Poland and see what it's like to live in Poland. And then when they come back to America, they might have a better appreciation for what it's like to be in this country versus many others in the world. And I think about that from time to time. If this lady thinks she's got it bad, just watch a documentary on some of the other countries in this world where women really have it bad. And maybe you'll get an appreciation for what you have in front of you.
And if that's not the case, tradition is just peer pressure by dead people.
Yes, again, depending on the household, depending on the culture, you may be forced by peer pressure and other threats to conform. It's true. It happens. Even in families that exist in Western countries who are very traditional. It's so on and so forth. Yes. But that is not the rule. That is not the law. I don't know what to tell you. And I have a feeling that you're not bound by any of the rules you say that you're bound by, given that outfit.
So first, they tell me it's a girl without even asking.
Wait, they who? They tell you it's a girl? Did you have a kid? Shouldn't I ask you about your... Wait, what?
Then I'm supposed to strive for goals I can never achieve?
Strive for goals you can never achieve. Wearing a dress? Having kids? Or not having kids? Falling at... thank you again, Gamer Valine. No, that sounds right. These women only want to compete with other women when the playing field is even. Competition without rivalry or hostility. Sure. You know, if you want to have life set on easy mode, if that's what she's complaining about, then yeah. Which it sounds like she is. Like I said, I could try to do some, armchair psychology here, but I'll wait for a minute.
And if I then dare to embrace my own womanhood
and tell me that you have, again, the shirt, the pants, the hair, the makeup, and your girlfriend, you haven't?
And to define my ways of femininity.
Yeah.
To say, yeah, I'm a girl, and constantly find out what that means to me.
Yeah.
Society gets scared.
No. Society is not scared of you. Society is not scared of you. Well, okay, let me back up again. I don't know how Swiss society works. I would assume like a clock, but otherwise, I don't know. Maybe she's right about where she lives. Maybe she's right. But speaking as an American, the majority of the population, the laws of the land and society at large doesn't care. This sounds to me more like you're trying to puff yourself up into some victimized rebel when you're not, which speaks to some kind of self-esteem issue, which might explain that shirt.
Which parts of womanhood are you scared of?
Oh, I'm going to abstain from answering that question because I know a little bit about the women in my audience, and I take it back. I am scared of them.
Which parts of femininity are you rejecting?
Am I rejecting? Are you speaking to women now, or are you speaking to society in general? I don't know.
After looking for all the right ways to be a woman, I found a truth.
Uh-oh.
There's no wrong way to be a woman.
Okay, well, then there's no wrong way to be a man, right? So, therefore, I assume, I'm sure we're not going to get to it, you don't believe in toxic masculinity because, you can't criticize a man for being the way he wants to be. Again, short of, harming someone or breaking the law, because that kind of behavior knows no gender, but you'd be challenged to find somebody on that side of the aisle that thinks it.
Spoiler alert, there's also no wrong way to be a guy.
Oh, she did it. Oh my gosh. Is that going to be your part 2 talk where you say the exact same things, but you just replace women with men?
There's no wrong way to embody a gender.
Yeah, there's a line. Depending on the society, there's a line. But you don't have to care what other people think. Act as you will. Be as you will. As long as you're not hurting anybody else or breaking the law, most people, again, I don't know about Switzerland, aren't going to care so much. They may or may not want to be around you, depending on how you behave. even within the law, but that's up to them. But I'm sure that if that were the case, you'd just blame everybody but yourself.
Basically, rules about gender are all made up.
They are. Oh, okay. Well then, why are there transgender people? Why do some people feel as though they are in an incorrect body and therefore want to transition genders? I mean, sure, there's a whole lot of amorphous, nebulous, not written down in stone ways to behave, but there are some fundamental truths about gender that are kind of unavoidable. Thank you, Matt Barnes. I reject nor am afraid of any part of femininity. I do not understand about 80% of it, though. Yeah, well, that's the difference between men and women. That's what keeps us interested in one another. There's mystery, right? There's a mystery between men and women because we are different. One to another, gender to gender, individual to individual, we are different. That's why they have two different names for men cannot bear children and women cannot become fathers in the biological sense. So, yeah.
I will fight those rules till no one tries to compliment us anymore with, "You're not like other girls."
You're going to fight the rules to operate outside of the rules until no one compliments you for not being like other girls. Can you just take a compliment without accepting it and move on with your day? If that's the driving force behind this attitude, I really wish you'd just sort of get over yourself.
I would question the rules till genitals of babies are just left alone.
Okay, so you're against circumcision? Okay.
And I will abolish those rules till there are no gender sections in toy stores anymore, but gender is the playground.
What? So you want to homogenize everything into a genderless, gray, passionless sludge, just so you can feel better about yourself. No.
I will fight the rules.
Good for you. You go do that. I can see you've got some fighting spirit. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. Hello, everybody, and welcome to humanity, where everything's made up and the genders don't matter. Indeed. Indeed.
What it means to be a woman, side by side with women who are just like me and nothing like me, till everyone knows there is no wrong way to be a woman.
Okay, that applause was totally inserted. That was not a natural applause to that ending. Okay, Mike R., how's that WTF button looking? It's looking pretty good, honestly. This wasn't like out and out outrageous as we went, but well, let's go over the bingo card real quick and see what we come up with. So let me bring that up on the screen now, and hopefully I don't mess this up and log myself out of the thing, because that would be unfortunate. Is that lined up enough? Oh, good. I made the window. This is a brand new overlay, by the way. A brand new moonscape. I did a couple of new things with the change of the time slot. One or two of them may or may not show up tonight. Okay, let's go over the bingo card one more time. Systemic institutional. She talked about rules. She talked about society, so on and so forth. I'm going to mark that as systemic institutional. Sales pitch for product or service. Nope, surprisingly enough. Childhood or family anecdote. I'm going to circle it because she talked about her offense at having been identified at birth, or sorry, assigned at birth, etc. So that's about as childhood an anecdote as you can get, even though she wasn't there for it. She came back to that well enough times. Diversity, equity, inclusion. She said diverse. She did say diverse. So we're on that one as well. Whoops. Now I want to go that way and that and that. Okay. Let's see. Microaggressions, unconscious bias. Yeah, unconscious bias was in there about talking about what girls should do and what people think and so on and so forth. And things that they say like, you're not like other girls. So I'm going to count that one as a go. Privilege. I can't say she did. I mean, she talked about certain variances between the genders, but well, okay. If I'm trying to be really snarky here, I could say that because she kept mentioning that only women experience these things, then ipso facto, men don't. So therefore, they have the privilege of not being questioned in this way or being pressured in this way in society. I don't know. Does that fly? I'll let it sit. You guys let me know in the chat if that flies. Patriarchy. I mean, she didn't dwell so much on the male element of society telling her to do X, Y, and Z. So I don't know if that quite counts. Mr. Tinkle Trunk, thanks so much. It was a privilege to be here tonight. Also, hello. Hello, Mr. Tinkle Trunk. And Osan, thank you so much. Sometimes it's hard being a woman, giving all your love to just one man. You'll have bad times. He'll have good times, doing things you don't understand. Stand by your man and tell the world you love him. Keep giving him all the love you can. Okay. Mr. Tickle Trickle again, thank you for the dog cat fox. Oh, smiley, dancy dog cat fox.
Wow-wee! Wow! Wow!
Oh, dog cat fox. Thank you so much. And Matt Barnes, thank you again. I'm son. I'm thinking about my son. Given a mop broom set as a toy when he was 3. His first order of business was to use the broom as a rifle, making my point that males are inherently aggressive. It is not learned. Yeah, there are certain behaviors and attributes that are encoded into boys and girls from birth forward. These are not necessarily imperatives, but they are instincts, and sometimes they can be guides. But that only goes so far. At a certain point, nature and then personal choice takes over. Certain things might be informed by those inherent reflexes, but it is not determinative. So, let's see. Going back to the bingo card. Weightless example. Weightless example. God, did she give any example? I mean, I don't want to keep dwelling on the whole "you're not like other girls" kind of thing, but like that was somehow evidence of her point. That someone giving her a compliment about being unique. I don't know. Okay, and just so everybody knows, I'm going to come back to you guys in the chat after I've gone over the card one more time, and we'll go over any squares not circled, okay? I'm just sort of musing right now. So if you have arguments for squares to be circled, please hold on to them. I'll get to them shortly. Feminism. Yes, I think in the overall, there's not really any way to avoid that this was a feminist presentation, rant, at least perhaps third wave feminist in a lot of ways. Marginalization. I mean, it was kind of implied. I'll let that sit. A list. Well, she went over wearing dresses, looking pretty, all the things that women are supposed to be and do, and have babies, and you're supposed to be in a marriage. Yeah, so I'm going to circle a list. A list. Come on, I can circle that where it looks a little Little decent. All right. Moving on. White supremacy. Nope. Strangely enough, nothing about race in this entire thing. I was kind of surprised. Word salad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For as many times as she contradicted herself, backed over her own point, went off in different directions. Ask me about my plans. Gonna have kids? Self-vilification or wretchedness. Okay, now this is a tough one. A, because it's the last square before a bingo. B, because the smugness and self-righteousness she was putting out there belies that square. But I keep having the sensation that a lot of this is fueled by a sense of self-wretchedness. But here's the thing. I am bound in the bingo card by what is presented in, well, the presentation. So, at any point, did she outwardly self-vilify or wretchedness herself? Regardless of my assumptions or interpretations. Was it part of the presentation? You guys might have a good argument, but at present, I have to say no. Thank you again, Mr. Tickletrunk. Sometimes compliments about being unique are actually tried and true pickup lines or harassment, as known in TEDx circles. Yeah, I brought that up when she brought up that thing. It's like, depending on who's saying it and what their intentions are, a comment like that could be genuine and sincere, or it could be just a line. So, yeah, I mean, you could brush it off as a bad pickup line, but if someone's trying to compliment you, even in a lame way, they obviously find you interesting for one reason or another. Whether you appreciate that reason is entirely up to you, but it doesn't inherently mean that somehow they are besmirching your femininity or something, or besmirching all women by giving you a compliment. That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, let's see. Make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. Well, she had a reason for bringing up gender and everything up. Now, you may not agree with it, but I don't think she brought up any non sequiturs. She just brought up something out of the blue and never talked about it again, kind of thing, or was completely off topics. I can't recall that she did. If you think that she did, again, hold off for a second. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. Nope, she didn't offer anything new or innovative there. Mind reading assumes motives. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Assumes the motives of society, assumes motives of women, assumes motives of men, on and on and on and on. And leaves out vital context. Vital context. I mean, I guess the one thing that was left out of this is the call to action, right? And I guess she kind of tried to do one at the end there, but there was never anything really specific. So is that leaving out vital context? No. Okay, yeah. If there is any doubt, there is no doubt. So I'm going to leave it there. All right, everybody. So if you have arguments for squares to be circled, put them in the chat now. Be sure to tag me with your argument so I know it's an argument and not just you guys talking to yourselves, which I very much appreciate. Let's see. Programming note for the future. I have consulted with Sister Scribe, and the tentative plan right now is to make the first Sunday of every month public domain movie night. So as we did, Night of the Living Dead previously, the first Sunday of September, we'll do something else. I think I've already picked out my choice, but I have to do a little bit of research first. So if you're interested in watching Sister Scribe and I, and perhaps other special guests, depending, just kind of riff off of some old creaky movie, that'll start happening the first Sunday of each month, starting next month. And if that changes, I will let you know. All right, going to the chat. Metal Murder, Scribe Light, marginalized because she kept going on about how Swiss gays can't get married. Okay. All right. Legit. That's true. That is true. Yeah, okay. In her country, her society, again, assuming, I don't know where this took place, but I'll assume she's from Switzerland, if nothing else. Okay, good call. Let's see. Who's next on the block? Jenna P. Scribbles. I got my Moonbase shirt and sweatshirt. Yay! Moonbase. Yes, if you would like your own Moonbase t-shirt, sweatshirt, if you'd like your own TEDx t-shirt, if you'd like your own Pepperjack t-shirt, or a mug with my face on it, or a Corona mask that's got it written on front, which is totally inappropriate given the circumstances, but hey, just for fun, you can find a link to my merchandise store in the description. Something I almost never remember to plug, but thank you, Jenna, for reminding me. And also Keeverdam, who is the, let's see, there was a word I was going to think of, but it escaped me. Anyway, the Lord of Paranoia is also helping push my stuff. Let's see, Spudgun, Scribelight, vilification as part of the victimization. Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave this to the chat, and I need you to be honest. I need you to be honest. All right, so self-vilification or wretchedness. Now, my first inclination, as I said, is that I am doing some armchair psychology to draw that conclusion from her presentation. And maybe there was some other stuff in there too that just kind of went over my head in the rush of everything else. Do you believe, honestly, that self-vilification or wretchedness was a part of this presentation, was contained within? If you believe so, put a 1 in the chat. If you do not believe so, put a 2. And I'm going to rely on your honesty and your integrity on this. You guys are really good at this, at keeping everybody honest. So 1 if you believe it is there, 2 if you don't believe it was part of the presentation. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Okay, don't double up either and try to confuse me. Okay, I think I see more 2s there than I see 1s. So I'm going to set that one aside, unless or until there's a better argument, because I'm always open up to the possibility. Ebony Williams, patriarchy, because she mentioned how women are expected to become wives and mothers. Well, I mean, yeah, the enforced gender roles, I guess. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll give it to you. All right. Legit. Yeah, she did dwell on that quite a bit, the expectations of gender roles and family positions and such. Killer Turner, she seemed more self-loving than loathing. Well, again, I can be, reading between the lines all day and just still be making guesses, but I think she probably has some issues. Let's see. Somebody said we have a bingo. Or is there a bingo? I don't see a bingo. Unless I'm missing something. I'm not. So, I don't know. Let's see. I met Lexi Mads. Go back. I made an argument for self-vilification. Why not just repost it? How far back do I have to go? Okay, Lexi Matt, self-vilification. I don't want kids. I'm a lesbian. I'm a terrible woman. Did she say that? Because if she said that, I think she was being effectively facetious. I don't know about that. Let's see. BG, Scribelight, name a TEDx speaker that doesn't have issues. Moving on. Let's see. Killer Turnus hiding her self-loathing with narcissism. That is what I suspect, but I can't say for sure. Doesn't the wage gap inherently leave out vital context, career choices? No, because she talked about like who should be the man or the woman in the relationship based on who's making more money. That was the wage gap bit. So yeah, that was. Yeah. Adabisi, Scribelight, she said too girly leaves out vital context because she needs to give an example when someone called any girl too girly. That feels like a stretch. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see leaves out vital context in a couple of places, but Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's going to be real rough to get a bingo here. I know you're reaching for it. I know you're reaching for it, but if there's not a really good argument, I mean, white supremacy, you're just off base. Weightless example. Okay, let's talk about weightless example. Let's talk about that for a second. Or Genty Maxi says, I say privilege is one because she thinks everyone else is the same and get different treatment because they are the same. She thinks girls who are different get different treatment. Well, that was the one that I was sitting on. I was like, well, you know, by implication, all the things that are visited upon girls unfairly obviously aren't by boys. So there must be some privileged status to being a boy. And the more that I think about it, the more that makes sense. So I guess, yeah.
Oh, won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay.
Right?
That is a bingo. And that was a new bingo, by the way. So we got our first bingo. There might be room for one more. Oh, wait. That's a T. That's a T bingo. Oh, my God.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
No, wait, it's not. Oh, no. I screwed that up. I'm sorry. I got so excited. For a second. I take that one back. I was discombobulated. I apologize. Now I got that wrong. Okay, let's take. Calm down, Scrank. Calm down. That was a mistake. I apologize. Oh, live television. Okay, now the only thing I see left where I can, it was a premature ejacu bingo. That doesn't rule out that I won't hit the button again, but okay. I will take arguments for weightless example because I think there's room there. But after that, I think we are done. So if anybody's got a weightless example argument, give it to me now or forever hold your peace. And we'll see if we can get a double bingo, an official double bingo. Let's see. Spud gun, weightless example. Adabisi said, quote, she said too girly. Leaves out vital context because she needs to give an example when someone called any girl too girly. Not sure if that, I don't think that doesn't click in my brain exactly. Sean Uli. Daniel Fullman said color of the toy aisle would be weightless example. Well, when she's talking about societal gender roles and assumptions of likes and dislikes, the toy aisle and the colors therein are often brought up as a example of society's expectations. So it's not a weightless example. It's not a good example, but in the context of the presentation, it is not a weightless example. So, yeah, I think Daniel Fullman, divine weightless example. Okay. An example that someone brings up that has no bearing on promoting or supporting the argument. Now, it's not an assessment of the quality of the example within the context of the presentation. It has to be effectively a non sequitur. Okay. Or something like, it's raining outside. And, when rain comes down, that means that, I don't know, dogs suddenly have a sensation of buzzing in their head or something. And that proves that rain exists. Something like that. Just an example that doesn't make any sense. It lends nothing to the argument or the presentation. So let's see. Matt Barnes. I say the toy aisle argument is correct via my donation tale because your son took the broom and made it into a gun. Okay. Again, I'm going to call upon you guys. This will be the last one. Last one. Weightless example. Does the toy aisle or the determination of toys count as a weightless example in the presentation? Now, if you think it does, put 1. If you think it doesn't, put 2. I won't lean into it any more than that. You give me your honest response. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. All right. Well, I really hope you're not just doing it for the extra bingo, which is effectively a third bingo, but officially only 2 bingos, because that would just be greedy. And around here, we're not greedy.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Bingo number 2, officially number 2. Not that kind of number 2 that belongs in the bathroom. Or, no, the Starship Enterprise had number 1. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to call it there. What did we learn from this presentation? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think we learned more about our speaker than we did about the subject at hand, which is kind of a common occurrence in TED Excellences. But not always the case. You never know, because these are all a crapshoot, because I just picked them out and see where we go. And with that, everyone, I'm going to call this to a close. If you'd like to see me again in the near future, I may be doing something on a live stream on Sunday. Not sure yet. But here's the other thing. I have been working on a brand new scripted video, and I plan to post it tomorrow sometime. So not only on Wednesday did you get my Marvel's What If review, and on Thursday you get a new TED Excellence. On Friday you'll get a scripted video. And Saturday I'll take off, and then Sunday I'll probably do a live stream. What will I do next? And then the first Sunday of next month will be movie night. Got a whole new schedule cooking up for myself in the end of the Lords of the Night era. So looking forward to that stuff. Hope you are too. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of TED Excellence. The next one will be next Thursday, again at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will once again delve into the wonderful world of off-brand TED Talks. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you are all safe and well. Thank you so much for your attendance, your participation, your argumentation, and your generosity. I kind of mixed that up. See, just one more aside. The time of day and what my brain says I should be saying and doing right now still hasn't gotten out of the old programming. So I hope you'll forgive me, and I hope you'll go along with me as I move to a new era of my YouTube career. With that, everyone, again, I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.